Welcome to the Soulful Mystics podcast. I'm Steph.
And I'm Julie. And we are intuitive hypnotists, sharing our journey along the way.
Hey, Mystics. We are so excited to be back. The energy lately has been one wild roller coaster ride. In this episode, we're catching up on what's been going on during our break. On my end, I've been dealing with some serious technology hiccups. And not the cute little hiccups that go away after a few minutes. I'm talking about the kind that throw everything off track. Not quite as extreme as the woman who had them for 8 years, but definitely a few weeks of non-stop interference. So if things have felt delayed, this is why. Honestly, we're taking this as a sign to let go of perfectionism and just roll with it. So here we are. Speaking of tech issues, when we recorded this episode, my mic settings somehow changed without me realizing it. It wasn't until I started editing that I discovered I sounded like a creepy robot trying to take over the world. So, heads up, the audio isn't great, and a lot had to be cut, but I have fixed it now. In the meantime, I wanted to take a moment to share a few updates that didn't make it in. I have been working on finishing a few projects, but I've also been dealing with chronic sinusitis since October. Turns out I'm allergic to something in my home. Still trying to figure that one out. But if this energetic roller coaster has taught me anything, it's that life flows much easier when you just roll with it. So that's what I'm doing. I am launching 2 on-demand workshops next month, Spiritual Self-Hypnosis and Intuitive Awakening, Tarot and Oracle Exploration. If you're interested in updates, head over to soulfulstephanie.com to join my email list, or if Instagram is more your vibe, I'll be sharing the details there too. Oh, also, I've added a freebie section on my website where you can download hypnotic journeys and mantra art for your phone background. Just a little something to support you on your journey. Julie is now offering virtual group hypnosis. I am so excited about this. Her Soul Circle group hypnotic journeys make hypnosis more accessible, helping those who participate go inward, open their heart, and lead with love. This is especially important during these chaotic times. I joined her first Soul Circle, and let me tell you, it was magical. Anytime I work with Julie, it's epic, but there's something extra powerful about group hypnosis. A special shout out to my friend Sharon, who joined that Soul Circle as well. It was her first hypnosis session, and the insights she shared with Julie afterwards were pure magic. And if you're feeling called to explore this or anything else Julie has to offer, sign up for her email list so you don't miss out. She has also been pouring her heart and soul into her website and business. Check out her new design and all the new things at soulseekerhypnosis.com and book a session with her. She's changed my life. I know I've said that many times, but I'm reiterating it now. She is the real deal, and I am honored to have this podcast with her and have her as somebody that I can work with in that space. She has really helped me move through a lot of generational healing and healing of all kinds. And don't forget, we're both offering a 10% discount on our websites. So you could use SMP10 at checkout. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, stories to share, topics to suggest, feedback, send us an email at soulfulmysticspodcast@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the podcast, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps more people find us, and it really lights us up. Thank you for being here. Let's dive in. Hello.
Hello. We're excited to be back. If you can't hear it in our voices, we are excited to be back.
Way to kick off season 3, Soulful Mystics podcast. Okay, I wanted to bring something up. We both have never broken a bone, and I came across this post on TikTok about the spiritual meaning behind this. She said those who haven't broken a bone have been divinely guided and protected from the moment you came into the world. That you have multiple guides in the spirit realm who have the job to protect you, your physical body. She also brought up times when you may have come really close to an accident and suddenly out of nowhere a message came through helping you avoid it, or it just didn't happen. And that is most likely your guide protecting you so that it didn't happen. Or anytime you might have been late in traffic, most likely that would be protecting you from something that may have happened up ahead. There have been a few examples of this that I totally resonate with. So this creator's handle is Ride the Waves, waves being spelled WAV3SS. And then I went down the rabbit hole and found so many more posts about it. A creator with the handle Becoming Mimo says that the spiritual reason why is that you were born to face many mental and emotional difficulties and traumas within this physical world, that you have these extra guardians protecting you from the other side, basically saying if you have to go through all this BS, we're going to at least protect you from your bones being broken or any serious medical accidents throughout your journey.
I mean, that all sounds wonderful and everything, but is it only for broken bones?
I don't know, but that's what I saw on the TikTok. If we wanted to speculate and like use our intuition,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are given what we can handle. And like I literally got a sliver the other day, nearly passed out 3 times. And then I literally said the same thing to you. I was like, I pulled it out all by myself. It only took me 3 tries. And I think there's still a little piece in there, but I'm not going for it.
It'll work its way out.
Yeah.
Or it'll be with
stay.
you forever.
Yeah. It's just like the rocks in my knees, you know?
Wow. Yeah, you know why I asked that, right? Because of like everything I went through since November.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think, and I mean, you have been through the ringer, so I don't want this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this lightly, but I do feel like it also has a lot to do with what you're going through emotionally, because those
Yeah, I'm
two
sure.
parts are connected. I don't know. Maybe there's some spiritual meaning with bones that I haven't looked up yet.
Yeah. Interesting. So just so people know, because I think we were going to talk about how our break has been going. So in November, I had surgery. I had my fallopian tubes removed. And on the paperwork, they called it something different. I can't remember the name of the procedure, but it's like a tubal ligation, but they no longer tie the tubes. They remove them completely. And so that's what I had done. And the surgery, everything went great. It was very smooth and everything. I went home right away. But then it was the recovery that I feel like it took me a solid 6 weeks when it should have only been like a week or 2. And the doctor said, oh, return to normal activity the next day. Lies. That was a lie. That did not happen. Yeah, I mean, solid brain fog for like 2 full weeks. I think that was a reaction from the anesthesia where I was not myself. I was not myself at all, and I did not like it. And then I had allergic reactions to the suture glue that they use, which caused the healing process to take for fucking ever. And that was not fun. And then my incisions ended up reopening after I thought they were almost healed. So it was just like one thing after another. And like when they reopened, it caused extreme pain. So glad that's over. Everything is good now. I feel like this last week, I finally feel good. I feel like I'm on the other side of this. In between that, I also had bouts of extreme anxiety. I'm talking like emergency room visit anxiety because I thought I was dying. So that was fun. Yeah, all stuff I've never experienced before and completely unexpected. And while I know I had a surgery like in my sacral chakra area, like I knew there was going to be some energetic healing that needed to take place from that. It was just way more than I expected.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. And I know you've been really through it these past couple months at least. So I'm really happy to be back with you in the Soulful Mystics podcast. And I feel like we haven't spoken as much either.
We haven't.
We've just been, I think, working through our own healing.
Yeah. And it feels like a forced rest that I was not prepared to take.
Yeah. So it'd be nice if our higher self could be like, listen, these things might happen if you don't take a break right now.
Yeah. I feel like I'm still unlearning. It was such a huge part of my upbringing that you just power through, you go, 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 you work, work, work. Still figuring that part out because, you know, I do work a full-time job. I am on overtime probably till February still. I've been on overtime since the beginning of November. So that's tiring in itself. So when it's like, you got to work, you got to go, 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 and then you got to do all the things outside of work. So I'm trying to figure that out still. I've come far enough in my journey where like I know how important rest is. And I'll be the first one to say that rest is productive too, right? I've told you that. Remembering that for myself, I think is needed. And maybe that's what some of this was. They're like, okay, if you're not gonna fucking rest, we're gonna make you fucking rest. Okay.
Yep.
Not that like my higher self and my guides talk to me like that, but it's just, yeah.
I feel like if they did, it'd be more relatable and you'd probably listen more.
I'd be like, okay.
Okay, yeah. I could sense the importance of it. And that just brought up the thought of Meredith from Earthling Astrology. She did a webinar on the Big Five, and something she said really, it struck something in me that I always knew to be true, but I never really thought about. And that is that money is not real. I don't know that she said it that way, but that it is an energetic exchange. It's something that was created and it's an energetic exchange, except we all need it right now in order to live and pay our bills and eat. So I am really curious because she said that it's going to be changing and shifting a little bit. I'm curious to see where this all goes because so many people are moving or at least having the call to leave their jobs and find something that they're passionate about and have the energetic exchange that way. You know, business can be up and down. And when it's flowing, it's magical and wonderful. Yeah. But sometimes when it's down, it's like the anxiety and the stress of it all. So, I mean, I feel it's going to be shifting and changing. And I did pull cards. I asked what themes of 2025 is going to be there for Julie and I.
Oh.
So I pulled from I tried to Google how to pronounce this. So I didn't make a fool of myself, but it says that no one knows. So that was fun. It's Thoth.
Oh, yeah, Thoth, I think.
Thoth.
Yeah.
I pulled the 5 of Wands. Fives are change. And let's see, it says here, their disproportionate size of these wands indicates that following the coordination of spirit, disunion has begun.
Oh dear.
Disunion of the corporate world is what I'm thinking and hoping.
Yeah.
Whatever else. Followed by the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings, finding your passion. So if you're separating yourself from whatever it is that's holding you out of alignment, the Ace of Wands is here to say, like, you're going to follow your passion. It was followed by the Queen of Discs, which is all about money. I feel like it's going to be, it's positive. It's all positive. We're purifying ourselves from those old beliefs and patterns that don't resonate anymore. Finding the beauty in whatever it is that we choose. There is beauty there and there's something special there. And then, of course, for the Queen of Pentacles, I pulled the Abundance card.
Aw, that's a very beautiful card.
It is, yeah. She's holding a fox and she's got some deer. Anyway, it is a beautiful card.
Aw, she's you.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
You have a fox and deer that come visit you.
I do. I haven't seen the fox in a while, but the deer comes every day. I've always felt like this year was going to be our abundant year for many things, but this card pull is, I mean, holding some positivity in that regard. And I don't know if you wanted to tell the people your word of the year.
Yeah. So I choose a word every year, and I've done this probably like the last maybe 4 or 5 years. So I know I've talked about it before. So a couple of years ago, my word was magic. Last year, it was expansion. And this year, my word is harmony. And the reason I chose this is because I feel like harmony reflects balance, peace, alignment in all areas of life, which I think for me, my biggest struggle is trying to balance all of the things I want to do, right? A lot of times I feel very overwhelmed, and that overwhelm causes me to just freeze and not do anything. I mean, we've got the podcast, we've got our businesses, then there's work, and then there's home life. And I feel like I'm exploring what I'm exploring now that my son is older. And I kind of started my own journey as he got older. And so now I have space to further my exploration of the spiritual gifts and my development and everything that I want to do. So yeah, harmony is just finding balance in all of that so that I don't feel overwhelmed when it becomes too much. And also, one thing I found this morning when I was looking through a book talking about the chakras, because each chakra kind of develops differently at different stages in your life. And the heart chakra is harmony. It resonates with harmony. So I feel like that is so fitting. And I didn't even realize that or make that connection until this morning. And a big part of my healing journey has been working on heart healing and also opening my heart, expanding my heart. So I feel like this word came to me, which they all just kind of come to me. And then once they do, I see the word everywhere. Since I picked this word a few weeks ago, it's everywhere reminding me to find that balance. So that is my goal for this year, is to keep doing what I'm doing, but also find the balance in it and not be overwhelmed.
Amazing.
It's my hope.
And the words that you've chosen before have all represented that year.
Yeah, especially when I chose the word magic. So before that, my year was surrender. And I felt like I struggled through that because surrender is fucking hard, right? But when I chose the word magic, it was because I wanted to see magic in the day-to-day life. And that's when I started noticing more synchronicities. I started having a stronger connection with spirit, with my guides. It was like every day I could see things that were so magical just in every day-to-day life that I never noticed before. Expansion, I feel like when I chose that word, it came to me in a hypnosis. I think that it was a group hypnosis we did with kinship, and it was more about expanding my spiritual gifts and growing in that way. And while I feel it's been a bumpy ride, I feel like obviously more things have happened to me, especially one of the stories I shared towards the end of season 2, where I saw a spirit with my naked eyes.
Yeah,
That's
so cool.
Wild.
I love it. So I wanted to choose one this year and I was stuck between two, but I ultimately chose balance. I guess we're going to be in a similar theme this year.
Yeah.
My balance is mind, body, and soul is what I'm trying to focus on. Heal my body as well and to connect all three. I feel like it's going to take time and learning about my body because I oftentimes feel uncomfortable and disconnected in my body. So that's going to be my goal.
And also harmony, if you think about it, people talk about it with music, and it's the different chords coming together as one, right?
I like that.
So that's all balance. And when things are in perfect harmony, it's flowing and it's beautiful. So while, yes, it is like a musical reference, I feel like it still kind of embodies all these different things because I want all the different parts of me to stop feeling so different.
Yeah.
I want it all to flow together. And I feel like, over the last several years, I've been in such a transition, as have you. I mean, a lot of us have been, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like some of the stuff that I've been working on has kind of been on my own, except on the podcast. I don't really talk to family about it or people outside of my little spiritual group. And so I think calling in harmony is just having it all flow beautifully together.
Yeah, and that actually brings to mind your soul circle. I could just visualize a group of people gathering for your event and those musical transitions weaving through every soul, sending their energy and those that are present. I love group hypnosis because the energy of everyone participating joins forces and makes the experience so much more powerful. So if you can elaborate a bit more on that.
Sure. Thank you for queuing me up. Over the last couple of years, I've really wanted to offer group hypnotic journeys over Zoom. And it's scary to do that. I've done very small groups in person, and I feel like that's kind of helped me work up the nerve to do a larger group over Zoom. And so I'm still kind of hashing things out. But currently, what I'm offering right now is a monthly group hypnotic journey. There's going to be intentions for each one. The first one is cultivating clarity, excitement, and alignment for the new year. And that is going to be January 9th. So that is going to be before this episode airs. However, I will continue to offer these throughout the coming months. I'm still playing around with which days of the week work best. I'm also thinking of tossing in every now and then a second journey of the month, and that one will be more towards divine guidance. I don't want to do more than I can handle with everything else that I have going on. Balance and harmony, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to start with the first one and just see how it unfolds. But also, I do plan to record these and then have them available on my website as well after the live group session has taken place. So if anyone can't make it to the live recording, you can still do the journey. You can still watch the recording of the presentation and all of that. Yeah, I mean, if anyone is interested, I'm open to feedback. I really want to hear what everyone has to say, and definitely open to having it, each one on a different day of the week. It's going to grow and evolve into its own thing. And so right now we're starting with just welcoming in the new year with clarity and alignment, releasing patterns from the past that no longer serve us and that we don't want to bring into the new year.
Yep. I am very excited.
I am so glad you're going to be there. This is going to be interesting because I have some people signed up who've never done hypnosis before, which that my whole body fills with chills. Like that lights me up.
Yeah, I love it.
The fact that people are open to it and they're curious about it. If you're just exploring, if you're not, some people, their biggest fear is, well, what if I can't be hypnotized? I think everybody can. It's your ability to let go. And sometimes that takes a little bit of practice. So that's why I love group, because it's the minimal investment and you'll get the recording so you can try it over and over and over again if that's a path that you want to go down, which I highly encourage you to, because once you get it, it's beautiful.
And that's it for today's episode. Until next time, stay curious.
Stay mystical.